Welcome to the Uncommon CEO podcast, where we unpack the mindset, skills, and wisdom it takes to become an uncommon leader in a common world. With your host, the Uncommon CEO himself, Andrew Smart.
All right, Andrew, we're back for the podcast, Uncommon CEO. We're in the swing of summer now. How are things going for you?
I'm good. I'm actually really, just excited to be here because not just to spend time talking with you and sharing thoughts and ideas, but I've got this new glass, Matt. I've got an official, the Uncommon CEO podcast. Nathan, I want to tell you how much we appreciate. You know, they don't see Nathan. He's always behind the scene making things happen. Mm-hmm. Nathan, bring over here what you delivered these in. Matt, you know what this is, right?
It's an ammo box.
This is an official 200 cartridge, 7.62 millimeter M13 ammo box. Mm-hmm. That's military grade there, buddy.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah, solid military grade. You know, when you're fighting a war, these stop coming, things get really bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, I appreciated Nathan giving this really nice gesture and gift, and coming off of when we talked about Memorial Day and the sacrifice. This was just kind of a little neat little piece he added to it. But what a way to deliver Uncommon CEO glass here.
Glasses and
you
coasters.
can have water in it. You ever seen the movie Tommy Boy?
Oh, several times, yeah.
So ironically, I was watching that the other night. Hadn't seen it in years, and loved that scene where he's coming back from school, going around the office with factory and office with his dad, and his dad takes him into what's going to be his office, and he's got like a little refrigerator there.
Yeah.
And he's going, "Oh, cool! You can put a 6-pack of soda."
Yeah.
So, what a great movie, Nathan. I'm gonna hand you back the ammo here. Thanks, sir. Great movie. The funny thing is, it is a comedy, but there's also a lot of life lessons there. That you got this guy who's a great guy. But really has no clear direction, has a relationship with his father, does have his 7 years in college, but he comes back and he gets thrown into, obviously a situation. His father passes away and he is put to the test. Yeah. And it's what I've always said, you find out who you are, where you are. And when you're thrown into a situation like he was, hey, I'm willing to give up all my inheritance and try to go save the family, factory, basically, a business. It kind of takes him on that journey, and then how he develops in the process. So really, really cool story.
And not too dissimilar from your journey in a lot of ways.
Very, very similar. Yeah. Very similar. Father passes away. Through life situations, you get put to the test. You're going to find out what you're made of. He grew up, basically kind of working the factory floors, and he kind of knew all the people from working the factory floors, and probably considered most of his life that's what he'd be doing. Yeah. And then next thing you know, he's faced with this opportunity to be the man. And it's he had to go through a lot of failures before he found success. But I think the heart of his success is he believed in what he was doing, and he was willing to put it all on the line, and he had a faith that he can make it happen.
Absolutely. He saw a vision that could be executed with the right steps.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, you're never going to know what you're capable of until you are put to that kind of test in life. And most people avoid those tests.
Yeah.
And that's why they never reach what they're truly capable of. And so great, like I said, great movie. And thank you again, Nathan. I'm enjoying my glass of water. That is what we are having here, just so you know, it is
Promise.
Water. So, Matt, the summer's kicking away, and really busy swim season, camps, you name it, full speed ahead, running around. Their mother's probably running a little more with them than I am, but
sure.
But obviously we're tag teaming and making it work with their schedules. I mean, kids today stay busy.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it is amazing. I mean, how busy they. I don't know if it's intentional, unintentional, or how it ever happens, but they stay busy. I was just talking with Cordero And I was telling him about everything I got going on. He goes, yeah, my son's in that AAU basketball. It's like it just never stops.
And when you've got 4 kids, I'm sure there's not many hours left in the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think about families and parents who have children. You raise them up and you get to a stage where you work to get them in the house, whether it's college, life, whatever. And then you get that little reprieve until grandkids show up.
Yep, starts all over
again. So
at least you can feed them full of sugar and send them back.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So that's true. My mother's good at that. She, that the kids are close, they can come over, but she can send them home too.
Yeah, that's where my kids are with my mom today. So yeah, understood.
It's a funny story. Before we get into the area that I want to talk about, John Maxwell, he talks about. I thought maybe I shared this one time, but he talks about with his grandkids. When his grandkids were young, his kids are always worried about what they're going to eat, what's on their diet.
Yeah,
and so when he sneaks off with the grandkids, he just lets them get whatever they want.
Oh yeah,
and he said, I tried all that stuff. I tried to feed them all the healthy. It doesn't help.
Yep.
and he said, I'm a grandparent. I can do what I want.
To spoil.
Yeah, I'm a grandparent.
The whole point.
Yeah. And so, but Matt, I wanted to circle up with you today and talk around marketing.
Sure.
This podcast that kicked off, gosh, we've been doing this now. How long?
Oh, I mean, 8
fourth
months?
quarter, 2022.
Yeah.
Now that's when it kicked off. It's been in development for a lot longer than that. And so takes time, like with anything, to get it going. Ideas, have to build, and then you work toward action, and then sometimes the idea works, sometimes it doesn't, right?
Sure.
But I think over the last 8 months, we've had some good dialogue, good talk, throwing out ideas, books, discussions. It's been a lot of fun. And I look forward to continue to see how this evolves. We were talking recently after one of the podcasts we just had, kind of like the metrics of views and who's seeing it and how all that works. And we're continuing to build on that foundation of what's started. And with a building foundation, you'll have an evolution of the process.
Sure.
We see that in our business that pays the bills. We see that, from when I started it to what we do today, what's worked, what hasn't worked, how we've honed in into areas that we feel like these are our core strengths, but how do we build upon that? And I bring it back to marketing. Okay, marketing is important.
Yeah.
Okay, and the truth is, we kind of come into this world with what I consider a base mentality of marketing. And where am I going with that? How old were you when you went on your first date?
Oh, like real date? Probably 16.
I was about the same.
Yeah.
About the same. In order for you to have that date, you had to do some degree of marketing.
Oh, yeah. You got to sell yourself first.
Yeah. I mean, because you're trying to have an experience, but that experience can't happen if that person is not buying what you're putting out there, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so, that is kind of like a base evolution that we kind of come in with, that, okay, we're kind of ingrained to market. And we do it in all kind of aspects of life. If you're young and you're an athlete, you want to market yourself, to a skill, position, sport, whatever it is. I mean,
yeah.
So we're always kind of marketing ourselves. But marketing is important in business.
Yeah.
It's extremely important. I mean, when we talk about leadership and uncommon, I mean, we pay attention to uncommon marketing, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. The Super Bowl commercial, the day after the Super Bowl, that's what everybody's talking about, is which ones stood out.
Yeah, they talk about the ones that were awesome and the ones that sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think anyone who puts out a Super Bowl commercial, and especially as much as they cost today, are trying to put out, boy, I can't wait for us to have the suck commercial.
Yeah, the one everybody's talking about for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, marketing is so important, but marketing is not easy.
No.
And I actually have a huge respect for people in marketing, because marketing is all about creativity.
Yeah, I would say so.
And we talk about in life, in business, personal development, life development, business development. creativity is essential. Okay, creativity is about how do we make it new, how do we make it fresh, okay? This is the same thing that goes into an entrepreneur's idea because I see something new, fresh, spin, things like that. So marketing. Matt, you are over marketing in Discover Fresh Foods.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, but when you came to Discover Fresh Foods, you didn't have a food background.
No, I never worked in the food business before. I had a direct marketing background for print and mail and database marketing.
Print mail, database marketing, going from that background over to what we do. Not all knowledge is transferable, is it?
No, there's a lot of things that didn't make sense for this business that would have in the other. Marketing for a bank is very different than marketing for a consumer product.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that group or individual the bank is going after isn't who we are going after on a daily basis.
Yeah, or at least not with the same messaging. I mean, marketing is all about the right message at the right time to connect with the consumer.
When you go, or when the average person does business with a bank and they go in there and do business, they want to come out feeling like, okay, I got, whatever loan that I was hoping to get. I feel good about the rate. But I don't know anyone who goes into a bank and says, "Man, I just can't wait to do business with a bank."
It's not exactly. It's like a visit to the dentist in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's like it's a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a thing that that we need in order to advance whatever area of life we're trying to advance.
Yeah,
we need a partner. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what you want to. I don't always feel like the bank's a partner.
No, I seldom do I feel like the bank's a partner.
But they promote themselves as partners, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, about every banking commercial I ever see, hey, we're your family bank, we're your neighborhood bank, we're your partner.
There's handshaking and smiling and, all the things that come from the money you get from the bank. So, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when you go do a deal with a bank, you sign away your life often. So
oftentimes. Yeah.
I don't know if I feel equal in this partnership.
Yeah.
But that type of marketing versus what we do, because what we do is we sell a product or we sell products that we hope people will buy and enjoy and want to repeat. When you're trying to build a brand and when you're trying to market products, Matt, what do you see as the core essentials that are needed?
So first of all, you're not really selling a product at the end of the day. You want to be selling the experience that product can bring and how it can bring people together. At least that's how we've approached our marketing with our brands here is it's not so much what goes in the cup to enjoy solo. It's what the experience is that can be created around these products, whether it's...
Wait a minute, so you're telling me we sell experience?
Yeah, we sell experience.
Disney sells an experience.
Yep. That's why they've been incredibly effective with their marketing and expansion.
Okay. I'm just tracking here, so experience.
Yeah. So instead of us selling something that, granted, some people may enjoy it solo, we're selling, here's something that can bring you together. Here's the appetizer to be enjoyed at the Super Bowl party or the tailgate, or if my friends do something called supper club on a regular basis. So leading up to that, what are those things that bring people together for conversation starters where we sell dips for the most part? So things that you open up, people can share, you enjoy the experience of doing so, and, feel that you've gained an experience through the process.
So for the listener out there, to give them a little better understanding of what we do, what Discover Fresh Foods is all about, how would you market us to them?
To a customer, I mean, we are a manufacturer of high quality products that everybody from the person cleaning the floors to the CEO of the company prides ourselves on the quality and the consistency and the safety of the products we put out.
For me, just the other day, I ran across someone and they asked, "Hey, what do you do? What's the name of your company?" I said, "Discover Fresh Foods. We're in the food manufacturing business." Mm-hmm. How would you answer that question when someone says, "Hey, who are you and what do you do?"
Yeah, I say I work in marketing for a company that produces delicious dips. And I would give them some examples, like our fried pickle dip. That's one that a lot of people have had the opportunity to try.
Well, and for those who haven't had fried pickle dip, it's under what brand?
Taste of the South.
Taste of the
Of course.
South. Okay. It is a great product.
Yeah, and to find people that have gotten the chance to enjoy it, even without having a direct connection with them through our product before, that's always neat to see. But yeah, we manufacture great tasting products. I work with our research and development department where, I mean, creativity is not just in what you visually see. It's creativity is going to be found its way into what's inside the products you take. So every bag of Doritos, frozen food, soda you drink, things like that. A lot of creativity went into developing taste. I mean, creativity finds its way through in taste and the package and every part of it.
I agree. As the CEO of the company, I'm a big believer in creativity in all departments in all areas.
Yeah.
That ideas should flow all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I think I remember right. You might know this better than I do, but when PepsiCo, do you remember there was a fiery Dorito?
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it was like
there's a Flamin' Cheetos, the big
or
one.
is it Flamin' Cheetos? That's
Yeah,
what
that
it
was
is.
a big
Flamin'
one.
Cheetos. But if I remember the story right, the idea came from a janitor.
Yeah, pretty much. He used to make them at home, where I think he would take the regular product and spice them up and enjoy it with the family, and just kept trying to find his way into the board meeting just to shoot his shot. They're making a movie about that right now, or they're about to release a movie.
Really,
about
that's
his
cool.
story right now.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool story. So he's actually not only bringing an idea, he get a little royalty or anything behind it. Probably not, right?
I'm not sure how that. I haven't seen the movie yet. I've just read little bits and pieces. And
Well, but here's the deal.
Yeah.
Whether he is or whether he isn't, probably isn't, but that janitor was doing it because that's what he enjoyed. That's what he wanted. That's what he believed in. And if they're making a movie, I bet that janitor never, ever envisioned a day in life with the movie be made after him.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
And so, and he probably, think about it. I know I would. It'd be nice to get a little pay on it, but
Yeah, I'm sure he got a kickback.
they probably did something, to kind of thank them. But to be able to have a movie and to be able to set a trend, that I think that is every bit of rewarding. I know for me, when I can go into a grocery store and see our products on the shelf and see our brand on the shelf, it's very rewarding to me.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah. Now I am a little bit anal. Sometimes when I go in there, then they're not lined up right. I tend to do a little adjustment.
I've been known to do that.
Yeah. And I really love going into grocery stores and going to different departments and seeing things that we make.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really quick to come back to the sales team or Marty, and when I go into a store and I said, I didn't see a lot of our products in there.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah. I was just in the Walmart version, the market.
The neighborhood market.
Mm-hmm. We manufacture co-pack a product I saw in there, but I didn't see any of ours.
Oh, I guess it depends on the store. We're in 3 different departments over there, depending on the store you go into.
Really, I didn't see any the last time. Now I could have missed it, but I was trying to find it. But most grocery stores I go to, I see our products.
Yep.
Some have obviously more than others, but always want to continue to see that develop. But going back to marketing, because I know as a business person, as an idea person, how important it is to get people to understand, and to get them, if you want them to buy in, they really got to understand it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about that.
You only have so much time and so much space to connect with a customer when they come in the store or drive by a billboard or things like that. I almost look at all marketing as that's your billboard. When you're driving up the highway, you've got 1.5 seconds to take that message, internalize it, and be able to take action on it. If it's too busy, people aren't going to know what action to take. If it doesn't give you enough information, it's not going to be memorable. And then you have to strike a balance between being intriguing and being meaningful and communicative. And that is how you end up being successful with it. Because there's really not, especially in our industry, there's not a lot of real estate to work with. So we have to jump off the shelf because that might be your only opportunity before you have nationwide brand recognition to speak to a customer.
When you're in positions like I am with this organization and others that have similar positions throughout other corporations and companies, we're always looking at the monetization. What is what is the basically what are we going to yield off of the costs going into marketing?
Sure.
Marketing is a science. It's not an exact science.
Mm-hmm.
And so often when we look at, okay, the ROI, what's our return on investment? And if we're launching a new product, it's kind of like pickle dip you brought up. I mean, when we launched that product, we didn't really know what the ROI could be on that product.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that particular case, I would say that while we kind of worked in developing that product and kind of launched it into another brand, and it didn't go so well, so we kind of reformulated, reworked, and we had a shot to do this product and with our brand, Taste of the South. It was really kind of like we didn't know where this was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, out of the gate, the initial launch and commitment was pretty small. It really took on a life of its own once people got it in their hands. Once we developed a package that jumped off the shelf that people said, huh. And as silly as it sounds, just having something that sounds as funky as fried pickle dip just got people excited. I mean, the marketing behind it can sometimes be as simple as what you name the product.
I agree. And I think while marketing has tons of strategy, but I think in marketing, by and large, I think it's okay to be lucky too.
Yeah, we don't frown on that. I mean, certainly in marketing, some of what we felt would have been the strongest products from a brand standpoint or a flavor standpoint or something that has culturally become more and more popular, they can fall flat on their face. It takes a little bit of luck in both directions.
We've had that experience. There's been products that we've launched. I thought this is going to be a winner. And then it's not. And so there's no guarantee behind marketing. But what I see, the most effective marketing I see is the people who find an angle of connection. It's like, I mean, you got to go back. I talked about this a while back in a staff meeting, but when Chick-fil-A launched their billboard marketing campaign, and then the Eat More Chicken to cows, and that was a big risk play for them. They had never done that kind of mass marketing, and they couldn't afford at that time. As much as we know Chick-fil-A and kind of the powerhouse they are today, back then they couldn't afford to do a major TV marketing campaign.
Oh yeah, it becomes prohibitively expensive to do nationwide campaigns.
But when they launched that billboard campaign, I used to love driving down the road.
Oh yeah,
and you'd see their new cow marketing,
some cow painting a fence or something.
Yeah. So I mean that was highly effective. Eat more chicken, and then to use the old cow there, and so that's what I look at and say that's effective marketing. I've shared stories on this podcast before, like the Febreze story when they first launched Febreze, and spent millions and millions of dollars getting that launch, and it really kind of flopped right out the gate because they didn't market it right. They had to kind of go back and study. Okay, we know we got a good product, but we're not telling the product right.
They had to flip it on its head where it became about the experience of having the clean home instead of the experience of cleaning it.
Yes, exactly. So talk to me a little more on marketing. What do you see as the core elements that are needed to be a really good marketing person?
So you mentioned creativity. I think you have to continue to be creative. You have to have humility as well, because there's no one person's angle or opinion that's always right. We're going through a packaging redesign exercise with the partner company to bring some outside insight to us. And you have to be willing to let go a little bit. So to be an effective marketer.
So tell me about that. Yeah. What do you mean by that?
So you can have an idea of what a single version of the truth is, or where you think the marketing and the brand should go, but no one person is always right. It helps to get the opinions of others. Consumer insight is a huge part of being an effective marketer. Some ideas might be a complete flop once they get out in market if you haven't done a little consumer research around how and why your product should be marketed. What goes on a package, on an ad, on a TV commercial, it all needs need some outside opinions and some paneling to make sure that it's going to be successful. I think the research element is often overlooked in marketing and having a really successful campaign at the end of the day.
Yeah, but sometimes, especially if you're trying to build something from the ground up, or you're young into a business, you're not going to be able to do those kind of things, or at least, in the way that companies our size or bigger than us can do. So when you're kind of starting off on ideas, a lot of time, that paneling is family, friends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's more so just getting outside of your own head and being able to take in feedback and just make it better. Great marketing has gone through iterations where it may have been one place when you started, but where you landed is going to be completely different. Like you mentioned, our most popular product, there were probably 10 iterations before we landed on the formula we got to. There were packaging design versions that went into it, formula recipe revisions that went into it. A couple of launches where it didn't hit the mark, but believing that it could be a success with the right tweaks is what finally got it to the finish line.
We talk about packaging. Packaging in our world is huge. That's one of the biggest ways that we're able to market is in our packaging. You were just talking about we're going through a redesign in packaging. Why are we doing that?
Usually every 3 years, you got to take a step back and look at your brand again and make sure that it's honed in to what it can be. Where our brand has evolved with the recipes, with the way we present their brand, with our social media and our interactions with our customers, we found that kind of who's buying our products may not align with who we thought was buying our products. And in making it more appealing to your target audience, you have a better chance of connection with them. Where we might have thought, hey, the people buying our products are the guys that are going to the tailgate party and playing cornhole. It more than likely is the family member, the mom buying it so that her college kids can enjoy it while they're at the tailgate party. Whether, you're enjoying the chips and dip during March Madness at home with friends, it's whether your friend's wife or the family went shopping together to pick it up, where the usage occasion wasn't necessarily dictated by who purchased the item at the end of the day. So marketing to who's actually shopping will help create those shared experiences once they get home. So that was one of the reasoning behind it. The package itself, we were hearing from consumers that, hey, this is hard to open. Where's the film seal on it?
Yeah, that was something interesting that I learned from the data that y'all shared, is that in our world, the consumer really feels good about film seal.
Yeah, absolutely. There's that safety net that comes with it, where you say, I know that this was sealed for quality, it hasn't been tampered with, et cetera.
And we know from being in the industry, that's not necessarily the case. The same packaging that we use on our sealed snap-ons, for the products we make, are just safe film seal. But feelings are real.
Yeah.
Oh, and absolutely. If the consumer feels this is safer, then it's safer.
Yeah. We had the opportunity to take what we've learned about our customer, about the quality of the ingredients, to our earlier point of who we are. We're the bedrock, as we discussed in our pillars discussion early on in this podcast, is quality. Everything rests on quality. So if we can't take that 1.5 seconds we have to communicate with the customer that there's a quality product inside of here, the ingredients are top notch, it's going to taste great, we promise. If we can't communicate that immediately, they're just going to pass on to the next product. So this is an opportunity to kind of take a step back, say, we've learned, we're evolving. Here's a new way we can look at our brand and our product to communicate to our customer in a way that it enables a connection with them, and then to be able to bring that connection home to their friends and family.
Well, Matt, you really sound like you enjoy the area that you work in, what you do, the products you delve into day in, day out. You really enjoy that.
I eat a lot of dip, yeah.
You do, but hey, we make good dips. So,
yeah, that's true.
And I believe, coming from a different marketing background prior to here, having worked close with you, I would lean that you might enjoy this a little more.
I do. I enjoy the marketing of ourselves, of our product, of the food, all those things, Whereas before, it's fine, making, mail campaigns and things like that.
Well, the funny thing about mail campaigns, we're going into next year a presidential campaign. Presidential.
Oh, I get those already.
Your mailbox gets flooded.
I am on DeSantis's list for some reason.
Yeah, you never get off of them.
Yeah,
once you're on them, you can't get off of them. I mean, and if you make one donation to anybody, everybody knows you.
Oh yeah, watch out.
And so, Matt, I kind of want to thank you for sharing your thoughts on marketing. I do want to ask: when you came out of college, did you know that you would go into this area, this field?
No, I was I always wanted to make TV commercials. Was one of the things that I focused on. So it has been an interesting journey along the way. I started my career in mental health for the first 9 years and worked a lot with their media and marketing side of things, but more so.
That's a different field.
It was, not what I intended to do, but it worked out well and very interesting. But along the way, I've always created media, and I think that aligns with where my head was at. But did I think I'd be helming a research and development department for a food company and doing the marketing? Probably not. I mean, life.
But you were open to growing, learning, getting better.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt you're passionate. You believe in what you do. You're passionate behind it. Mm-hmm. And you can't be successful at anything that doesn't have passion and belief.
Yeah.
And so I believe that's what makes you an uncommon person, Matt.
I appreciate that.
And so I value having, you within the organization. Love doing this podcast with you, but I believe that passion, that there's no one in this organization that you could ask and say, hey, is Matt passionate? And say, absolutely. Does he believe in what he's doing? Absolutely. So I appreciate that. So, I do have one, final thing that I want to, ask you.
Sure.
So quite often within our podcast, as we kind of wrap down towards the end of it, we use the football analogy, where
sure,
okay, we're either fourth down on the 5-yard line, sometimes 10-yard line, but you're near the goal line. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna say, Matt, it's 4th and 6.
4th and 6. Okay.
Okay. It's 4th and 6. What's your play?
You're probably not running the ball at 4th and 6, but your play to get into the end zone there is going to have to take a little bit of a risk. With your marketing, if you play it too safe, you're not going to connect with the consumer in a way that's meaningful. As doing this packaging research that we've done, we compare ourselves to other brands and research around what they're doing. But if we just become another Me Too, we're just going to blend it on the shelf like everybody else. So you're going to throw that fade route to the corner of the end zone, take a little risk. If he misses it, he misses it. I mean, kicking the field goal might be safe, but it can also come back to bite you in the end. So, take a little risk.
Well, Matt, I love that, taking risk. And given this is an Uncommon CEO podcast, uncommon people understand there is no success without risk.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to take that risk, and knowing you're not guaranteed to catch that, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you don't take that risk, you're damn sure not going to catch it. So, yes, while marketing is not a guaranteed deal, and there's a lot of work, if you're doing it right, a lot of work, a lot of research, a lot of things done in the background. But at the end of the day, you got to hike the ball and throw it.
Thanks for joining us today on the Uncommon CEO podcast. Subscribe to our show wherever you get podcasts. We have video episodes on our YouTube channel and more uncommon wisdom on our social media. Find all our links and resources at uncommonceopodcast.com. For Andrew Smart and all of us here at the Uncommon CEO, stay uncommon.